have this set up in the order that we're going to put it into the skillet.
So good.
Recipe comes together really, really quickly. We've got our deer meat in there, almost zero fat in this deer meat. We're going to crack 1 egg. That helps as a binder. About a teaspoon of garlic powder, about a teaspoon of onion powder. And don't worry about skimping on the onion powder. The onion is going to shine like a champ in this. So if you're going to put too much of something. Pepper, black pepper. We use fresh ground because our taste buds are kind of burnt in this house with all the habanero and things that we use. Can't really taste regular black pepper, so it's got to be the ground style. 2 splashes of Worcestershire sauce. A splash of heavy whipping cream. This needs to be shaken up a little bit. That also helps with keeping it moist, keeping it bound together. This is a secret ingredient. A teaspoon of better than bouillon beef bouillon. That is the best bouillon you are ever going to eat. 1 packet of onion soup. The reason we don't put any salt in this, there's a lot of salt in the Lipton onion soup. And there's also a lot of salt in this bouillon. So you've kind of got your salt content already in there. If you need to correct for salt, my mouth is watering talking about this. If you need to correct the salt content, you can do it in the gravy at the end. There's a specific reason why you want to use those dried chopped onions. Think about when those onions cook inside the meat and you're using regular raw onions. Onions release a lot of water, and that makes the onion shrinks and it makes a little gooey, wet pocket inside that meat. You get the same flavor without weakening the stiffness or the burger falling apart. Dried onions, use those in your hamburger. Now we're going to mix all of this together, and you kind of get to decide what size patty you like. So I'm gonna make them a touch on the thinner side, a little less hearty, but I'm gonna make up for it with our special mashed potato recipe. They'll be able to pile those mashed potatoes high with this burger on top with that gravy slathered across, and we're gonna make a bunch of gravy to go with this so that there's no running out of mashed potatoes or gravy. But if you're cooking for a smaller crowd, maybe just your family, you can make these pretty thick. These burgers are going to be stacked on top and simmering in that gravy as the last part of the cook. So we want all those burgers stacked up in there on top of the onions, on top of the mushrooms. It's gonna be amazing. And ideally, they'll stiffen up inside the fridge. Make your patties, put a layer of wax paper, and let them sit in your fridge for an hour or 2. That will help prevent, they solidify some and prevents them from breaking apart when you're trying to cook them out on the grill or inside this Dutch oven. When you're cutting up your vegetables, shape matters. You've got some decisions to make. We like to do a hearty mushroom as quarters and a thin onion because it will disappear into the gravy. Thicker onions, you'll get more that will last to the end of the cook. If you like any of the tools or equipment that we use in this video, we'll put a link in the description below where you can go to Amazon and purchase it. Getting all of your prep work done before you head out to the cooking area makes it much easier when you're finally adding things together. And that's the part where this comes together really quickly. Quick life hack on this, we're going to be using regular standard Coles Kingsford, and lighting your chimney over top of your grill, your gas grill burner, it's a game changer. No newspaper, no torches, just settle it in over top and get it going. So this is when it starts to happen real fast. So we've got these coals going, and here in the beginning, we definitely want a lot of heat to fry those burgers. So we're gonna put maybe a dozen coals underneath this Dutch oven and get that heat going up. And I don't know if you can see that on this camera, but we're just about to the smoking point on this cast iron. So it's time to get the burgers on. Matter of fact, we might have a few too many coals. I'm gonna back some out because while we do want to fry or sear these, We don't want them to burn too quickly. And really the temperature, we're just searing the outside to get the flavor of the sear on the burgers because they'll finish cooking off inside the gravy. It's not so important what the temperature is to the meat like you normally would be cooking. Let's get the burgers on. This should be a good healthy sizzle right from the get-go. And we're going to be building up the flavor. It starts right here. As these burgers cook, they'll leave some fond directly on the pan. That's the brown bits. So you want to pay attention that you're not burning the bits that are left behind. And we'll talk about that more later when we add another that lifts the fond off. So some of the party attendees have already started to arrive. And I said we should just have a quick on-camera conversation. So we're making the mushroom, onion, and gravy burger that the birthday girl wanted. She insisted on mushrooms being in it, much to her mother's chagrin. But
I've never seen something cooked like that.
That just means you haven't watched my videos.
This is how they used to cook before a grill was made.
Yes, this is and how people who are outdoorsy like campfires. This is what they use to cook.
It's kind of like you just have to dump the ashes instead of like
Yes.
a grill. It comes out at the bottom.
All right, y'all. It's my birthday, so we're gonna go make some drinks. But that was really cool there.
So now we've got that grease, and we already had this set up in the order that we're going to put it into the skillet. That grease is hot. We haven't burned that fond. It's actually starting to burn, so we got to control that temperature. Garlic and onions going in. The onions and garlic get a couple of minutes head start, and we're sweating them till they get a little bit translucent. Then we'll throw those mushrooms in and let them, there's a lot of moisture that drops out of those mushrooms, and we'll let that simmer down a little bit, get a little bit of gold color in those mushrooms. Then it's simple. Make the gravy, put the burgers back in, and we're done, ready to serve. So we've got those onions sweated down a little bit. Now, to continue the fond, getting that moisture out, we'll throw the mushrooms in. You can see all that liquid has dropped out of the mushrooms. Now we've got to clear out a little spot, little dry spot, and we're going to cook that flour some over that heat. That flour is raw at the moment. And if you think of somebody making the roux, the whole thing behind a roux is cooking the flour. Totally changes the flavor of it. So that's what we're doing here. Once you've cooked some of that raw flour, add in another batch of Better Than Bouillon beef bouillon, 4 or 5 cups, and bring that back up to a boil or a simmer, and you'll be able to gauge how thick that gravy is. We did a little taste test at this point. The gravy's coming together. We just about have the thickness that we like, but we're lacking a little bit of the salt. So we brought it out just in case. This soup mix will add both onion flavor as well as the salt that we're looking for. So it's a double whammy. We'll let that simmer for a bit and decide if that gave us what we were looking for. We've got it where we want it. We have those burgers that need to go back in and finish cooking and simmer down. And if this gravy gets too thick, we'll just add more of that beef bouillon in, and it will thin it back out because it looks like it's still on its thickening journey. And these burgers are also going to release some more beefy goodness into this, and that might thin the gravy as well. Left to simmer for about an hour. That's just about when the guests arrive, so perfect timing. It's always good when it works out. Since we're going into the simmer, we want to conserve that liquid that's in it and put our lid back on while the simmer is occurring. All right, let's take it inside and plate up.
It was supposed to be swamp.
I was gonna say it's swamp something, right? He ain't making that up.
The liquid is soaked up and you rub it.
Mark, stop. Awkward. I know.
Come on.
No.
Open your mouth.
Record somebody else. We're just
Hey,
recording
can I
me
move this?
eating.
Can I move this like that?
I don't need the rest of the photographer. So good. It's good though.
Good.
Where are the onions?
What do you think?
That's good. I ain't got the meat yet. Gravy's fantastic. Right down that long roll. It's good.
Marissa, I know where they're at. No, straight to your left.
Right down. That was good.
So YouTube says that this video is perfect for your viewing habits. This is my latest upload, and over here is a playlist you might just enjoy. I hope you liked it. If you did, please click like, subscribe, share, and come on back for more.